Guys, Layna here. Welcome back to my channel. This channel is all about my recovery from anorexia. Today's video is going to be kind of a recovery review with the anniversary of my 1 year in recovery is coming up, so I thought I would do a little recovery review for you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay guys, so my 1 year anniversary in recovery is coming up. It is coming up. December 14th is the day that I had my first recovery appointment when I first started recovery, and I committed to it, and it was a thing. I was recovering. It has been almost a year, which is so crazy to think about because I don't know what I expected when I first started recovery. I know that when I first started recovery, I didn't think that I was going to get far. I was still resisting. I honestly didn't feel like I was going to ever be able to do some of the things that I had done before the eating disorder. I never thought that I would get to the point where I'm at today, which is so crazy because I can't even imagine going backwards. I do have a bit of body mourning where I mourn my previous self when I was like in the depths of the eating disorder. I do have a lot of just mourning that, but I don't want to go backwards. And that's the big thing, is that I don't want to go back to where I was a year ago because I was so miserable, and I can't imagine going backwards at this point. I have grown so much. I've tried so many new foods, so many foods that I didn't think I would ever eat again. I enjoy them on a daily basis, and that's the crazy part, is that I never thought that I would ever get to a point where I just ate the foods that I liked and was like, oh, I don't really like this, I'm not going to eat it. I've kind of got to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm discovering what I like, what I actually like, and what my eating disorder tells me that I like. So I can differentiate between those two feelings and choose the one that I want, right? And I've named my eating disorder Plankton, and it has been crazy so far, just realizing how far I've come. I've been reflecting on it lately because the 1 year anniversary is coming up. December 14th is my 1 year anniversary in recovery, so I've been thinking about it a lot, and yeah, it is just so crazy. There's a lot less fear than there was a year ago. A year ago, I was afraid of so many foods. I was afraid of calories. I was afraid of food. I was afraid of not exercising. I was afraid of so many things, and it wasn't just fear. It was like sheer terror. Like, I would have meltdowns. I would cry if over a lot of things, over meals, over dinner, over snacks, over calories, over just things. I would get really stressed out if there was something that wasn't planned out, like if I didn't plan to have like this, like, and somebody brought it up and they're like, okay, let's eat this, and I would freak out. I would cry, I would freak out, and I would not enjoy the experience because I was too scared. But now there's a lot less fear, and I am able to do things that I never thought I would be able to do. Spontaneous milkshakes, spontaneous Oreos, spontaneous cookies, spontaneous snacks, just all of the above. Enjoying holiday events like Thanksgiving just passed, and I just ate all that I wanted to. I had a couple pieces of pie, I had all that I wanted to at the dinner, and I ate the leftovers the days afterwards too. So I just, in the old me a year ago, couldn't have even imagined doing that. Last Thanksgiving and last Christmas were really miserable. I restricted so much, and when I did let myself have some stuff, I freaked out. And the following days after those holidays were miserable because I was trying to compensate for it. And now there is less compensation. I actually have pretty much zero compensation because I realized that compensation is not the answer, and it is not fun. There's a lot more body acceptance as well. And I'm learning to accept my body, accept that my body will change, accept that weight fluctuates. And a year ago, I would have lost my marbles if my weight even dared to fluctuate. There's weight fluctuation daily with water, with water retention, just with going to the bathroom, eating, your weight will fluctuate. And a year ago, me did not understand that. And so I was at a point where I was weighing myself multiple times a day, and as it changed, I would just cry and cry and have meltdowns, and I just didn't understand things. But now I have a lot more body acceptance, and one of the biggest things is I have an actual smile. I don't have to fake smile. I'm actually a happier person, and it has been amazing. Like a year ago, you could like look at pictures of me a year ago and see that I was not happy. I did not look happy. I did not look healthy. I was miserable. But now there's a lot more acceptance in everything, right? And I'm finding that it's crazy, right? And I'm doing things I never thought that I could do, like not worrying about calories, just leaning more towards not knowing how many calories are in something, because previously, a year ago, I had to know how many calories was in everything. I had to know. I could not stand the not knowing. But now I prefer not to know because it helps me mentally, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't know, right? And I feel a lot better about it, and it works a lot better. So yeah, and I have an actual smile. I am a lot happier. I can go out to eat and not panic. I can go out to eat multiple times a day, multiple times a week, multiple times a month, and not panic, because a year ago I had a big issue with that. If I did go out to eat, it was a miserable experience. I didn't actually get what I wanted. I just got what I thought I had to have. And I did not enjoy the experience of eating out, and I would literally lose my crap. Like, I would bring snacks and meals places so that I could have what I deemed as safe, instead of having that chance that they'd be like, oh, let's go eat out. And I would never, ever let that happen, because I would bring snacks, I'd bring meals, and it was super unhealthy environment, super unhealthy view on food. And I just couldn't cope with any changes. Like, even if, like, we had a plan for dinner, like, we're gonna have fried rice or stir fry, but if something happened, like, oh wait, we don't have eggs, we don't have ham, we don't have, I don't know, whatever, and then be like, okay, let's have this instead, I would lose my crap. Like, I would just wig out because it was the slightest change. And I think one of the biggest things, I guess I'm happy thinking about where I am at now versus where I was a year ago. I was logging my calories. I was logging the littlest things. I would log my condiments. I would weigh out my vegetables, and I have ditched the food scale. I have ditched the calorie apps, and it is life-changing. A year ago, I would never have ever dreamed that I would delete that app or I would throw away the food scale. If a year ago me could see me now, I would probably cry, because I would be terrified of the things that I have changed. And they're good changes, but Plankton likes to tell me that they're not good changes. So a year ago me would literally not even be able to fathom. Oh, yeah. And it's crazy, because a year ago, when the doctors brought up the prospect of recovery and being recovered and getting rid of the eating disorder, I really wanted it. I wanted it, but I didn't want my body to change in order to have it. I wanted to have food freedom, and I wanted to eat freely, and I wanted to be happy, and I wanted to have experiences like everyone else, because everyone else was going out to eat and they were totally fine. And I wanted all of that. But I didn't want my body to change, and I knew that my body had to change in order to have that. So it was kind of a thing that I was like, okay, fine, I won't have that. But I wanted it badly. I wanted to be recovered, and I wanted to be at the point where I'm at right now. I was like, I don't think I could ever get there, but I wish I was there. And now that I'm there, it is like, I didn't know that I could do that. And it was a really rough road, a really rough year, and there were times where I just wanted to give up, and I was so done, because the voices are so overwhelming. Plankton is so overwhelming, and I just wanted to give up, but I'm really glad that I didn't, because I'm at a point that I never thought I could be. Last Christmas, when I first started recovery, I never ever thought that I could get to this point. where I'm eating out, I'm enjoying food, I can change plans, I can eat whatever I want, I'm not thinking about calories, and sometimes I still do have the problems with calories, but overall, I'm not thinking about them, and I do have those slip ups, I do have stress moments about calories, but I'm at a point where I'd rather not know how many calories are in something. I make it an effort to stay away from the food label. I make it an effort to just not look at the food label at all costs. And at restaurants, I look at it and make an effort not to look at the calories. But a year ago, me had to know. She would not eat anything that she did not know how many calories were in it. And she would input it into that little stupid app, and it was terrible. My relationships with people have improved because I am less cranky because I am eating. I'm still on a journey to heal my relationship with my weight and with it changing, and I'm still working on healing my relationship with food. It's a process. Body dysmorphia is real, but I'm working on accepting it. And a year ago, me would literally cry if she saw me today. She would not understand how I got here she didn't think it was possible. She didn't think it was possible, and I'm a completely different person. She did not think that it was possible at all for me to reach this point. She did not think it was possible to delete that app or to throw away the food scale. And I guess I get emotional talking about it because I am so incredibly grateful that I had such a good team. And I'm at a point where I am doing a lot better than I was a year ago. And there is still a lot of work to do. My team and I know that it might take another year or two for the voices to be completely gone and to completely just obliterate Blankton. It's going to take a little while, but the progress that I've made in this year is nothing to close your eyes at, to close my eyes at, and I just am shocked. Because a year ago, when I walked into that doctor's office, I was an angry person. I was so angry that they were making me do this appointment. I was so angry that they were trying to make me recover. I was so angry. And at the same time, there was that conflicting feeling because I wanted to recover, but I didn't want my body to change. I knew my body had to change in order to recover, but I didn't want it to change, so I just settled on, okay, I guess I'll never recover. But, I'm so grateful that they, in a way, kind of had to force me to recover. And to go to those doctor appointments and to try and to do all the steps. And, yeah. And it was kind of what happened throughout this year was I hit a point where I was, I thought that I was recovered, and I wasn't really. I was still forcing my body to be something that it wasn't. And now I'm at a point where I'm just letting my body be what it wants to be. I am just eating. I'm eating what I want, and I'm making sure I give myself the nutrition I need, but I'm having fun with it, and I am including all foods into my eating. There is no restricted food groups. A year ago, I was restricting food groups, and I was terrified of food groups, but now I feel like I'm pretty good with it, and I still have a little fear of a few food groups, like sugar. Sugar is one of the hard ones for me. But a year ago, I never thought I would eat a piece of candy again. A year ago, I had a meltdown if I had a piece of candy. But now, I can eat a piece of candy. I might feel a little guilty. But soon enough, that will go too. But at this point, I'm eating candy. And it's like such a big jump, right? And in 1 year, it was such a big jump. And at first I was really mad at myself because I was like, you're recovering way too fast. But there's no such thing as recovering too fast. Recovery is possible. And I am in no way saying that I don't have bad days. I have bad days. Everyone has bad days. I have days where I am sobbing in my bed because I am struggling with my body. I have days where I look in the mirror and I just cry. I have days where food is really hard. I have days where I feel so guilty about food. I have days where I'm worried about calories. But the main thing is, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm not letting my eating disorder say, oh, you feel bad about your body. Oh, you feel bad about those calories. Okay, restrict. Okay, purge. I am not listening to those. Because I don't want to destroy the progress that has happened in this year. 2022, as hard as it was completely worth it. Because on multiple levels, not just in my eating disorder, I have become a different person, a better version of myself. And yeah, it's just emotional for this 1 year anniversary to be coming up. Because December 14th, I walked into that office, an angry person who was so mad at them for making me go in there and start recovery because I didn't think that there was anything wrong. Now that I'm looking back at it, there was a lot wrong. There was so many things wrong. I had an unhealthy relationship with food, unhealthy relationship with my body, unhealthy relationship with exercise, an unhealthy relationship with the world. And now I'm realizing that, A, I can't look like anyone but me, right? I'm gonna let my body be its natural self. I am just letting my body do whatever it wants. I am just letting it be who it wants to be. If it needs to gain weight, fantastic. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to embrace it because at the end of the day, if my body is gaining weight, it's because it needs to. So yeah. Number 2, I have a better relationship with food. I enjoy it. I love it. And if I want something, I get it. And I include all food groups into my eating. I don't restrict any food groups. I actually eat out now. I eat out multiple times if I so desire and if the situation requires it. I don't panic about that. And if my weight fluctuates, that's okay. That's okay. And I'm at a point where I don't weigh myself. I only get weighed at doctor appointments for my eating disorder and where I'm in a safe situation to accept and embrace that number. And understand that the number doesn't matter and that it doesn't define me and that I can be okay with it no matter what it says. I'm at a point where I'm at better relationships with people because I'm not so angry and I'm not so hangry. I'm doing better in school because I have more focus and I am just enjoying the moments, enjoying the memories, enjoying things that I wouldn't have before because I was too focused on my body and food. And I thought that was the only thing in the world that mattered. That was the only thing in my world that mattered. Nothing was more important than restriction and getting the scale to go down. That was my sole purpose before I started recovery. That was my sole purpose. And now my purpose is not that. My purpose is to love myself, love others, and enjoy life. And that is where things changed. I focus more on memories, and if I don't feel like exercising, I don't, because there's no point in forcing myself to do something I don't want to do. So yeah, 2022 has been hard, but I've made so much progress and I can't wait to see what happens in 2023. It's going to be hard. Every year is hard. There's hardships in every year. But I can't wait to see what progress I will be making. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, so with this anniversary coming up, I'm really excited. December 14th. It is the day that it all started. Where my journey for recovery started. And I started healing my relationship with my body, with food, with myself, with the world, with others. And it has been crazy awesome and crazy hard. I will not lie to you guys. Recovery is not easy. Recovery is in no way easy, but it is worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here is my Instagram. I post there frequently, and here's my body positivity Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams now, guys. One for my eating disorder recovery and one for body positivity. And yeah, here's my TikTok. I really don't post there very often, but I'll put it in there anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, be good to yourselves, and remember that I love you guys so much, and recovery is possible. Keep kicking eating disorder butt, guys, and have a great day. Bye.